Hey, it's your girl Stony GH Town, and welcome back to my channel. This is my second video. This is actually a video that has been requested by a few people. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm like 2 weeks late on this video. I apologize, but I'm here now. So, just a little history, just a little of my history. I have 3 children, 3 live births, and 5 miscarriages. My last son, my youngest, he's 4 years old. He'll be 5 in October. I was on NuvaRing before I even decided that I was going to get pregnant again. Me and his father decided he didn't have any kids, so we decided to go ahead and get off birth control and try. So we tried for 18 months. I had 2 more miscarriages in the process, and I also have a background in I worked for a couple of OB-GYN offices as a lab tech. So just the research that I've done trying to get pregnant personally, and in addition to on-the-job experience, I have come up with some little tricks to, well, not tricks, but some necessities to help you get pregnant if you're having infertility issues. The main thing that I recommend is liquid Geritol. This is liquid Geritol. Yes, it's the old folk stuff. Liquid Geritol tonic. I was at the dollar store a couple of days ago, and I saw another. It's an iron supplement. It's a liquid iron supplement. Don't do the pills. You can do the pills, but pills are harder to. By the time your body digests the pills and all that other stuff, you don't get even a fraction of the nutrients from the vitamins. So I always recommend liquid vitamins. Liquid Geritol is better than the pill form. Make sure you get that. The Geritol, it is iron rich. One thing that I have researched and discovered over the years is that your uterus needs to have good, rich blood lining. Okay, you need a good thick lining. You need to have a good thick blood rich lining to have a sticky bean. I don't know if you're familiar with the terminology. Once you start on your fertility journey, you'll learn all the lingo, especially if you're on Baby Center. Baby Center is a good resource. If I were you, I would go ahead and set up an account and visit the forums, do your research so that you can just, learn on your own. It's always good to research your own stuff. But in addition, you'll have a community of women who are going through the same exact thing you're going through. They are very encouraging. They also have little forums where you can post pregnancy tests. Sometimes you'll have like a really, really faint line that's hard to see, and they have little tools that you can make your lines more defined, especially if they're not if they're really faint. So it's just so much support on that site. When I was on there, like if you post a possible positive, you'll have all the women, they'll come comment on your picture and root you on, like, I hope so. Or they'll be honest, like, that could be an evaporation line, that might not be a positive. I hope it is for you, but it's just a good community to have support. And they have great info on there. So definitely, if you are on your journey to having a baby, definitely try Babysitter. Babysitter is great. I love Babysitter. I haven't been on it in years, but back when I was trying to get pregnant, I was on Babysitter all the time, and it's a great resource. But yes, part of the terminology, sticky bean. That's the embryo. When the embryo sticks to your lining, you can have false positives or chemical pregnancies. Usually a chemical pregnancy is you'll get a positive and then immediately get a negative as soon as you get a positive, because usually when a chemical pregnancy happens, the embryo tries to attach, but something goes wrong. It might not have been meant to be. So if you're a habitual test taker, you'll probably come across a chemical pregnancy at least once in your lifetime if you're a habitual tester. If you like, as soon as you have sex, as soon as that 2 weeks pass, as soon as your ovulation period comes, as soon as that 2 weeks pass, if you're the type that you don't even wait for the missed period, you hurry up and take your test, it's a possibility that you may experience a chemical pregnancy. Most women don't experience chemical pregnancies because they don't test in time to see. It's like a very small window of time where the chemical is present enough to have a positive pregnancy test, and then you're disappointed. It's sad, but it happens. I'm just giving you information. But okay, so one thing I recommend, the main thing I recommend, go on eBay. This is what I did. Go on eBay. You can purchase ovulation kits. You need an ovulation kit. Yes, like I didn't start using ovulation kits until the last 3 months right before I got pregnant. Okay, so if I would have had the ovulation test sooner than that, I probably would have been able to, narrow down my window a lot sooner. But the cheapest way to go about, because ovulation tests, if you go get, the first response, all the ovulation tests in the store, they're extremely expensive. You can go on eBay and order, I know everything with the COVID, all that, everything that's going on right now, yeah. But you can actually order ovulation kits from China where you'll get like 30 ovulation sticks, and they look like, I don't know if you're familiar with like the Atkins diet or whatever, and testing your urine, the keto sticks or whatever, to see how much fat you're burning through your urine, those little strips. That's exactly what the little strips from China look. It's not like the actual kit. They're just little tiny plastic strips. That's why it's so much cheaper. So you order the ovulation kit. I'll post a link in the video, on the description of the video. But it's like you might get 30 ovulation tests and 5 pregnancy tests. So you'll have the ovulation test. So you make sure you have a good tracker, a good period tracker app. I use My Days. I've used My Days for years. My Days is great. There are so many other period tracking apps. So when you input your data for your periods, it'll automatically, on the counter on whatever your period app is, it'll show you a time frame of when you should ovulate. So I would start ovulating like about that week, or maybe the weekend before that, and just keep doing your ovulation tests until you get a positive. And when you get a positive, I can't remember, it's been so many years. I think when you get a positive, you have, 12 hours from that positive to get pregnant. I think it's a 12-hour window. So that's why ovulation tests are so important. The window is so small. Not only that, the ovulation test will, periods are tricky, okay? You can't just go based off of when you're expected to have your period, okay? Because sometimes what happens, that's why they give you so many. It's good to get as many ovulation tests as you can, because sometimes what happens, that's also why you can't depend on your period to prevent pregnancy. I don't recommend, if you're trying not to get pregnant, some women, they just go based on their period app and they're like, okay, I'm just going to be careful during this time. No, because you can still get pregnant when you don't think you can get pregnant. It happens. So sometimes what happens is your body gets set up, your body gets all the chemicals and starts to prepare for ovulation. You get all the way up to the point where you're supposed to have ovulation. Something doesn't go right in your body, and for whatever reason, the egg does not release. So then when that happens, you go all the way through ovulation. Your body goes all the way through all the motions all the way up until ovulation day, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the egg doesn't release. So then your body goes back into the cycle immediately and starts preparing for ovulation again. So whenever your egg doesn't drop for whatever reason, your body goes right back into it to try and make the egg drop like the next week. So that's why you can't just go based on your period and hope you don't get pregnant if you're trying to go natural, no birth control or whatnot, and trying to track your period to prevent pregnancy. No, ma'am. You're going to get pregnant eventually. That's not guaranteed because, the setup, things don't always happen. And then all of a sudden it happens. So trust me, I got pregnant with my oldest son. I got pregnant the last day of my period. Like literally, I got pregnant the last day of my period. I was spotting, so we're like, okay, we're good. And I got pregnant. I was living in Atlanta for 38 weeks when I had my baby at 38 weeks. Like, to the day. I moved from Texas to Atlanta. 38 weeks later, I had my son. Okay? So, shit happens. But that's why the ovulation tests are important. Make sure you test as often as you can. And start to notice your body. Like, try and get in tune with your body, because you'll start to notice and feel certain things. Like for me, I know when I'm about to ovulate, like I start feeling a weird pinching sensation in my cervix. You have to get in tune with your body, okay? Your body tells you. These are the signs that you're about to ovulate. When you have, I know all women have discharge. I know you're probably used to either like you'll have a little creamy discharge or whatever. The discharge you want to look for to get pregnant is the egg white looking discharge, the snot looking discharge, the clear, tacky, stretchy looking discharge. That is your fertile discharge, okay? That is the discharge that protects the sperm. We have our you know how you have to be careful which soaps you use on your yoni, because it's pH balanced, right? Our yonis are acidic. So the egg white discharge coats the sperm so that your yoni don't kill it, so it can make it through, okay? So keep in mind when you start seeing that tacky egg white looking discharge, start testing right then and there. Also, get familiar with your cervix, okay? Research cervical positions throughout the menstrual cycle, okay? I should have looked it up before I did this video, and I did not even think of it. All of this information is just coming back to me as I do this video. Research cervical positions. I'm starting to remember. When you're fertile, your cervix lowers. And then when in your non-fertile times, your cervix rises. So basically, when you're not fertile, you're deeper. And when you're fertile, you're more shallow, okay? So, and you use every month when it's coming closer and closer to time. And then also, not just the depth of your vaginal canal, the position of your cervix, the hole in your cervix will start to open when you're ovulating. When you're not ovulating, that thing is closed tight as tight, can't even get a pin through it, okay? So the hole in your cervix closes when you're not fertile. When you're about to ovulate, it starts to open, and you can actually track this. You use your middle finger when you're in the shower. Put your finger up there. Check where your cervix is, okay? If it's lower, you're about to ovulate. odds are, you know, everybody's different. Like I said, sometimes your body will start the process of ovulation, and then for whatever reason it doesn't happen. So just because your cervix is low doesn't necessarily mean that your egg dropped, because again, your body will go through the cycle, and for whatever reason the egg don't drop. That's again why it is important to have those ovulation tests as reinforcement, just to narrow down your window. Okay, I'm telling you, them ovulation tests will be your best friend. So you need that. In addition, this is so old, y'all don't judge me. I actually never got a chance to use this. I got pregnant. I ordered this, and then 3 days later I found out I was pregnant. But the box is all beat up. This is pre-seed. This is a lubricant. This is supposed to mimic that egg white discharge that I'm telling you about. See, it's supposed to mimic the egg white discharge. See, that's what the discharge, the fertile discharge looks like. That tacky egg white snot looking discharge. So this is pre-seed. This is lubricant. This is a great lubricant to help you get pregnant. It protects the sperm. Again, our vagina, our yoni, is acidic. The acid is designed to kill off whatever goes up in there, okay? It's designed to kill that. But also to procreate once a month when it's time for you, or whenever it's time for you to ovulate. I don't like to say once a month, because it ain't always once a month. Sometimes it's twice a month. I've ovulated twice in 1 month before. But anyway, you want to, whenever it's time to ovulate, that discharge and that discharge or this, that'll help keep that sperm protected so that it can actually make it through. Before that sperm can do anything, it got to make it through the vaginal canal into the cervix, okay? And it's acidic. So you need either that the egg white discharge, or you can also get this to assist. This is a great lubricant. Again, I have not personally used it yet, but I played, like when I first got it, I felt it just to get the consistency and see what it was that I was finna use up on my sensitive bits. So you want this. Again, you want to make sure you get liquid Geritol. I get liquid Geritol I got this bottle actually from Amazon. This came as a 2-pack set. Or you can go to Walgreens. Sometimes, like with me, I only get it from Walgreens when they have a sale. Because sometimes Walgreens, they want like $16, $17 for this shit. And you shouldn't pay more than $8, $9. So sometimes Walgreens will have like 2 for $10.99 deals. So just keep an eye out whenever you see the 2 for $10.99 deals. Sorry. Whenever you see the 10 for $2.99 deals, or whatever the deal Walgreens has, and CVS, make sure you grab a couple bottles. You can get it off of Amazon. Sometimes they have good deals on Amazon. I'll post a link for that also. So just to recap, what we need to get pregnant is ovulation strips. And again, when you order those ovulation kits from eBay, from China or wherever, they come with pregnancy tests. So that's actually how I found out I was pregnant. I used my ovulation test. I still remember. I used my ovulation test. It was January 2nd. January 2nd. Either January 2nd or January 4th. It was January 2nd. I had a positive ovulation test. We had sex that night. And this was, again, January 2nd, either January 2nd or January 4th. But I'm pretty sure it was January 2nd. February 16th, I took the little pregnancy strip that came with the ovulation test. And I found out I was pregnant. It was weird because I was, I walked my ex. We're exes now. I walked him outside as usual. He left. He would leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was still dark outside. Walked him out. He left. And the wind just blew across my face just some certain way. And the way the wind just blew across my face, I was like, I'm going to have a positive pregnancy test this morning. So I went in the house and took the pregnancy test. And I looked at it, and it was a faint line. And I was like, no way. No. Wait a minute, what? I knew it, I called it, but I still couldn't believe it. Okay? That was 2015. So I found out I was pregnant February 16th, 2015. No. Yeah, 2015. And I had my son October 19th, 2015. So, yes. You can do it. It can happen. Just learn your body. Get in tune with your body. Make sure you get this Geritol, because again, we want a rich, thick lining in our uterus. Our baby thrives. What does the baby thrive on? A rich, thick placenta, right? That placenta gives a really good blood supply, right? That placenta forms from the lining of your uterus. You need a good, thick, rich blood supply to your uterus, okay? We're not supposed to have heavy periods. They lied to us. We are not supposed to have heavy 5-day periods. A true healthy woman, when I was my healthiest, my period was 3 days. I would spot the first day, have a mild period the second day. I probably only changed my tampon twice on the second day. The third day, I'd have light spotting, and then that was it. That was my healthiest. And I got pregnant, like, my second child, I still can't tell you when I got pregnant. I have no clue when I got pregnant. I know his due date was wrong. They changed his due date 3 times because they just couldn't figure it out. They kept measuring. Then they thought that he wasn't going to make it. I was healthy back then, and I had a good, thick, rich blood supply to my uterus, and I was having light, mild periods. I wasn't having all that cramping. I was drinking a lot of water. I was taking Geritol back then because I was anemic. So I actually started taking Geritol for anemia before I even knew that the saying is there's a baby at the end of every bottle. That's the saying about Geritol. There's a baby at the end of every bottle. So make sure you get some. Make sure you get some, so you can get that baby at the end of the bottle, okay? But I really hope that this video was informative. Any questions that you have, leave them in the comments. I am here to answer any questions. I do apologize again that it took me so long to get this video out there. But yes, start drinking your teas. Start taking your sea moss gel. Start taking your liquid Geritol. Get your ovulation kit. Get you a little pre-seed if you need to. Just get healthy, sis. Start eating fruit in the morning for breakfast. Instead, like, go to Walmart, get them already chopped up fruit. And in the morning, if you don't have a lot of time in the mornings, you need to do something to where you can run out. The night before, just grab a little sandwich bag and throw some grapes and some pineapples and some cherries in there, some real cherries. Get you some real cherries with the seeds in them, okay? They taste like plums. They are so freaking good. If you don't like plums, then you won't like cherries. But if you like plums, you will like real cherries with the seeds in them, okay? Start getting you some good fruit. Eat you some fruit in the morning. Take your vitamins. Make sure they're liquid, or like I said, the sea moss gel. That's 89 vitamins and minerals that you need in your body. And it's in a gel form, so you know your body's absorbing it. Screw them damn pills. Don't take them pill vitamins. Get you some sea moss, liquid Geritol. Eat you some fruit in the morning, sis. Drink a lot of water. And I promise you, you will be fine, you will get that miracle baby that you want, your rainbow baby. Document your cycle so that you can learn your patterns, get familiar with your body, get familiar with your cervix and your discharge. That is very important. I'm telling you, when you're in the shower, feel the position of your cervix. You can actually feel when your cervix is open and closed too. I don't know if you've ever seen what a cervix looks like, but basically your vaginal canal is turned inside out penis, okay? If you can Google what cervix is and your vaginal canal looks like. It looks like a turned inside out penis. The vaginal canal is the shaft of the penis, and the cervix is the head of the penis, okay? It looks like the head of a penis. That's what your cervix looks like. If you're not familiar, if you still don't know, it's time to learn. So you can feel with the tip of your finger when that hole is open, okay? That's your cycle. You have to get familiar with your cycle. That is your cycle. You can feel when your cervix is open. That's your most fertile time, when your cervix is open, and when that discharge looks like egg whites or snot. When it looks like this, when that cervix is open and you get this discharge looking like that, baby, it's time. It is time, okay? All right, so I am so glad that I finally got this information out to you guys. Again, any questions, concerns, comments you have, anything you want to add, any other tricks. I know there are going to be people who have went through fertility issues that are going to see this video. If you have any other additional input to help, please add to the comments, okay? Love you. Peace be with you. I'm praying for that sticky bean, that angel baby. Ashe, ashe, ashe.